Good morning, everyone. My name is Antonio Barksdale. I am a primary care physician. A physician meaning a medical doctor. I take care of patients in my office on a daily basis, and we are still seeing patients in my office right now, sick patients. We are also doing virtual visits, which is something that's new to us, and it's kind of nice. We kind of like it, but a little bit stressful, kind of learning how to do things at the last minute, but still enjoying my job. And just wanted to talk to you guys about what I do, how I became to do it, how I trained, and just certain aspects of being a physician, just in case you guys were interested. I wanted to commend your leaders for continuing to put this career day together, despite the obvious challenges. You guys have phenomenal principals, vice principals, and teachers. You should be very grateful to them. To become a physician, so as far as the education part of it, of course, graduating from high school and attending a college or university that has a focus toward pre-med or medical studies. I majored in biology and minored in chemistry. This is not absolutely necessary, but there is a lot of biology involved. So it's always wise to get a lot of biology whenever you're thinking about medical school. You could also do things like microbiology, or immunology. It's different types of things you can kind of pursue in your pre-med and your college years. But whatever you do, you're going to end up having to take a test called the MCAT test, which is how they determine if you're suitable for medical school. So you have to train very hard, take this test, and then you have to interview at medical schools. And depending on your GPA, depending on your CV or resume, which shows your leadership activities, community involvement, which may have references from people you establish relationships with. They look at this, they look at your GPA, they look at your MCAT score, and determine if you're a good match for that school. And that brings me to the next point of just, it's important right now, even when you're in seventh, eighth grade, ninth grade, to start to think about leadership opportunities, to get involved in different clubs at school, different organizations, being involved in the community, volunteer work. All those things are, first of all, good for you in general and good for the community, but it also teaches you leadership skills, and these skills are important when you're trying to do something like get into medical school. So it's good to be able to put things like that on your resume. So I would encourage you guys to do so. Also, I would encourage you to seek some type of relationship with someone who's doing what you want to do. So if you want to be a nurse, a nurse practitioner, or a doctor, physician, physician's assistant, physical therapist, a trainer, whatever you want to do, it's good to try to seek out people who are doing that, establish some type of relationship with them, go shadow them. And that way you'll have that as a reference that you can put on your resume. And also you'll get to see what it's like, to see if that's something you really want to do, because you're able to see what they do on a day-to-day basis. So that's what I did. I went to medical school, got into medical school after college. I was very fortunate and blessed to get into a medical school. And medical school is 4 years, a very intense training, extremely intense, just a lot of information being thrown at you that you have to learn. So it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. But again, if you feel called to medicine, it's definitely doable if you have your mindset to do it. The first 2 years of medical school is basically classroom work where they're just throwing lots of information at you. You may have seen like the big anatomy classes where you're dissecting cadavers. As part of it, you're learning just all the biology, biochemistry, your obviously anatomy, just going over a lot of different things, organic chemistry. So that's the first 2 years. The second 2 years, you are doing clinical rounds. So you're actually shadowing and being with doctors and residents, and you're learning on the job, and you're taking tests after each rotation to see, to make sure you've mastered that particular topic. So that's for 2 years. And then, assuming you do well on all your testing, you graduate from medical school. Now, after medical school, you have a medical degree. So you have an MD, you're a medical doctor. However, in order to become active in whatever field you want to pursue in medicine, you have to go through a residency program. So a residency program can be anywhere from 3 years up to 10 years, depending on what you want to specialize in. And so at this point, you have to decide what area of medicine you want to go into. So, if you want to become a family medicine physician or some type of primary care doctor, like a pediatrician or just an internal medicine doctor, OB-GYN doctor, then normally that's a 3 to 4 year residency program that you'll pursue to get training in that field. If you want to do something like a plastic surgeon or a neurosurgeon, the residency program is a lot longer. It takes many, many, many years to perfect those skills before you're ready to go out and do those skills. So you could easily do a 7, 8, 9 year residency program before you're ready to go out. Lots of different fields in medicine. There's skin specialists, dermatologists, there's ears, nose, throat specialists. There's gastroenterologists specialized in the GI tract. There's cardiologists specialized in the heart. There's ophthalmologists and optometrists. There's oral surgeons. So just a lot of different areas of interest. There's people specializing in the feet, podiatrists. So, I would encourage you guys, if you're at the least bit interested, just to do some research, reach out to people and get more information and then see if that's something, you can find your niche there. They also mentioned to talk about, income for this particular career. Before I mention income, I would also like to mention that, sometimes it's very expensive to train. Unfortunately, going to college and medical school is not cheap. And so, you have to take that into consideration. So, there's a wide variety of income levels in doctors, depending on what you do. Primary care doctors, are probably at the lower end of the totem pole, can make anywhere from, 150,000 a year to 350,000 a year, depending on a lot of different factors. However, someone like an orthopedic surgeon probably averages more like 500, 600,000 a year. Neurosurgeons, plastic surgeons average a bit more than that. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but they could easily bring in 700, 800,000 if they're really busy and in certain places. Why did I choose medicine? I chose medicine because I felt a calling. I wasn't sure if I could do it because it takes a long time, a lot of work. But when I was in college, I just did a lot of soul searching and just a lot of praying and trying to really figure out how I can best utilize my skills. And I found out that I could do this if I really set my mind to do it. I felt like I could do it. And I feel like if I did do it, I would help a lot of people. So I felt an obligation to pursue the calling of medicine. I chose primary care medicine, family practice, because I like the relationships with people. If I was a specialist, I just see patients a couple of times and dismiss them. But as a primary care doctor, I'm able to establish a long-term relationship with them, establish good rapport. I can see patients any age, any stage of their life. Just about any medical issue that they have, they come to me first usually. So I just like being able to do that. I like the variety. I never know what I want to see on a day-to-day basis in primary care. So I like that. And also you're able to impact patients in a deeper way because you're not just a doctor. The primary care doctor becomes, just kind of a confidant, almost like a friend because they've confided in us. We know them, we know their families. So we're able to really connect with them on a deeper level. If you guys have any particular questions, feel free to reach out. I'm sure you're